Okay, here we are, Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press, here at the Southern District of New York Courthouse, today, Friday, June 7th, 2024. We're covering the Menendez and Glows trials, but first, from the Trump docket, this is more of a thought that I had. People were saying there's been a delay in the Georgia case. The appeals court there will take up the motion to review whether Fani Willis should be removed, which puts the trial back pretty much past the election. But people were saying, some people, that this would have been the one televised trial, and it's true. There's a big difference between New York State, not televised, federal courts, neither. The question is will this always be the case, and should it be the case? I think I'm in favor of more rather than less coverage, but that's just it. And so on the Menendez case, although there's no cameras, we're trying to live tweet it, and we are live tweeting it. Yesterday, the testimony of Gurbir Grewal, now with the SEC. He's the head of enforcement. I've actually covered him in press conferences about white-collar cases here, maybe including one that's going to apparently plead guilty today, Tournant. But I digress. He testified yesterday that Menendez did try to bring up this case to him of the Latino trucker and the insurance situation, but didn't name the case. So I wonder if this will become significant in his closing. Grewal said, his deputy said it was very gross, and he said that yes, he although as a federal senator, Menendez didn't have power over his budget or his job. Menendez was an ally of the governor, and so he wanted to keep him happy. He didn't do anything to do. He definitely testified to come off as the straight arrow, and he managed to leave relatively unscathed and was photographed walking across Foley Square as Michael Avenatti once did. In the Guo case, they had yet another victim, investor victim of previous coworker. On the cross, it was basically said, well, your way out of this problem was to become a cooperator. So we'll see how that plays with the jury. As I mentioned, Tournant, there's going to be something at noon, so watch the Inner City Press feed. And also on the United Nations. Well, yesterday in the United Nations, they had what they call an election, which means no choice at all. There was the new president of the General Assembly from Cameroon was elected without. They, in fact, already scheduled his press conference as president before the election was held. That's pretty much all you got to know. And there's 5 new members of the Security Council, none of whom had any opposition. So, just as well, this is a known UN thing. They're called clean slates, but they're also, on freedom of the press, absolute hypocrites. They'll talk about it, but they had Inner City Press banned, even though our scoop on UNFPA is totally unrebutted. Natalia Khanum corrupt, but the people just keep paying. Those who like the UN pay money regardless of the performance. But we'll continue to beat on the door. 2 firms have written to them, Quinn Emanuel, Duane Morris. No answer because the UN totally impugned. But we cover the law, and we're heading into the courthouse now for Menendez. Have a good weekend.